So if you use lambda expressions, you can turn this ugly code into this beautiful code. Then you may now say that, didn't you say it's Java's way to support first class functions? My methods are still not a first class citizen. Can I just use my method already I have and then just pass it to method as a parameter? Well, there is a solution for that. It is method references. So if you have a method which has the same method signature as functional interface, then you can replace that the lambda expression with the existing method. So if you have a look at this one is comparator, right? Okay, this one is comparator functional interface, and you've already got the static method which does exactly the same thing for this for big decimal. So if you get closer look at the code, both returns int and both takes two parameters, and of course this one takes two big decimal objects. Here just some type t. Okay, but it's generic, so which means that you can use this for any type. If you have something like that, then you can replace lambda expression with that method. So how can you do that? Well, I'll give you some example. So this is how you sort, right? Sort, and then you pass a collection and comparator. Now you can write this beautiful lambda code, but if you already have static method which does that, right? It's exactly the same, right? Then you can pass this method instead of using lambda expressions. Okay, how? Like this. You can do utils : and then method name. Well, if both have the same method signature, then you can replace. All right. Then what about this? I mean, I've got that static method, but actually what this one does is just doing this. So can I instead use this one? Well, you can do that too. So you can do something like this. You are using that big decimal's instance method called compare to like that. But how? I mean, this one takes only one parameter, but here I need to have something for taking two parameters. Well, if you do this, right, then what happens is it uses the first parameter and then calls this method on that first parameter and then pass the second parameter as a parameter to that method. All right, so that's how you do. So which means you have something like this, and then you can replace this lambda expression with like that, right? So if you see this, this is the instance method, right? It's not static method. It's instance method on this big decimal object. So when you get two big decimal objects, then it uses the first parameter as this big decimal, then calls the compare to method on this object, then use the second parameter as a parameter to this method. Okay, and that's how you use method references. I'll give some examples. Okay, so I'll create some new class, method references, examples, then here main method. Okay, what am I going to do is, okay, just do what I showed in the slide. So let's create utility class called class myutils, and here I have a static method called which returns int and then compare. It takes two big decimal objects, so just simple one, bd1, decimal BD2 and returns BD1 compared to BD2. Simple, just like that. And here what I need to do is, okay, let's just try like this. Where is it? That's arrays, and then I'll create array of big decimal. So here I just do 10, 12, and 100. 7 like this. And okay, I need to import then my utility class import utils. Alright, now I can use that $sign. Alright, and here what I want to do is actually assign to some variable. So and a big decimal list, and I want to sort it. Okay, just before sorting I just need to print it out to see. Okay, 10, 12, 100, and 7. Now I want to sort it using collections sort method, right? And pass that big decimal and with lambda expressions. So what I do is BD1, BD2, same thing like this, BD1 compared to BD2 like that, and then print it out again. Oops. Alright, I've got sorted list. Okay, that's good. Now what I'm doing is, instead of using the lambda expressions, I'll use the method reference to this method. So same thing, sort, and then pass big decimal list, and then here what I'm doing is my utils colon compare. So this is name of class and this is name of method, right? Pass that. I should get the same result, right? I got the same result. You can do that, or as I said, this is how you put the reference to static method, but instance method, arbitrary instance method. Then you can do like this. What I'm using here is actually instance method in the big decimal object, right? So I'm just using that one. Big decimal colon compare to. That's it. Call. Yeah, same result, right? And this is how you use the arbitrary instance method. If you want to use method from any particular object, then you can specify like this. So for example, here I'll create another method called same thing, private int compare, and it takes big decimal and BD1, another big decimal, BD2, and returns BD1 compared to BD2. So now instead of passing that using big decimals compared to method, I'm going to use the instance method of this method reference example class. So what I need to do is just do the same thing. Oops, too many. Here, the same thing, but this part, what I'm gonna do is, I'll create that instance of that class, and here I'm using this. Use this compare method. So it's called it compare, like that, right? Now, what do I get? Yep, it's fine. Run it again. I should get the same result, right? So let's make sure to clear that. Run it. Yep, I've got the same result, right? So that's how you call, how you use the method reference to some particular object. Okay, using that name of that alias of that object. Okay, variable containing reference to that object, then colon colon, and then name of the method. That's how you do it. And what about this? Let's just think about, you know, what I did for mapping. Okay, let's just quickly create the map method again here. So tr and list of t list, and then mapper, I have function and tr, yep, and then mapper. So what I had here is list of R type, the result, new array list, and then here for, and tt list, and result add mapper apply t. Okay, that's it, and finally return the result. Okay, you know, you remember this map method, right? Okay, I forgot the return type list of R. Okay, what I want to do is, now I have a list of string but containing some number like that, 20, 12, 20, and 999, like that. And now using this one, some list like that, and I want to map this list into big decimal list. Okay, so how can I do that? Well, if I use lambda expressions, what I can do is some value s and then new big decimal, then I pass that s to that, right? So this would result in big decimals. Okay, yep, the result of that, this mapping would be the list of big decimal. So yeah, I got that. But instead of using lambda expressions, if you have a look at this one, the method signature for that, this mapper and then big decimal are the same, because it takes the constructor for this big decimal is the same. It takes string and returns big decimal, which is the same, right? Here, this lambda expression takes string and returns big decimal. So can I just use constructor instead of, you know, writing lambda expressions? Yeah, you can. How? You move this new to here and colon like this, and this is a method reference for constructor. That's how you write that method reference for constructor. If I run it, get the same result. Okay, so I'll give you more examples and more useful and practical ones when I get, you know, Stream API. So just please bear with me. You will get much more useful ones soon.